Hi everyone, it's Angie. You can't see me because it's about 5:30 in the morning. The car's all packed up. I was going to show you, but it's too dark. We are about 2 to 5 minutes away from setting off for Perth Festival of Yarn. And I figured that I would just say this now because, I don't know if you heard that, that was my GPS. So, we're going to be setting off soon. And, hopefully this rain that's kind of drizzling knocks off so we can get a good start under our belts. We're very tired, but getting up early and leaving early means we miss traffic and everything, so alright, here we go. Hi everyone, this is my lovely, dutiful wife who's doing literally all the driving up to Perth. I didn't film anything earlier because I didn't want to, risk irritating you when we're leaving so early and you're having to drive so early. Yeah, so we've hit a little bit of traffic here on the A1. I feel like we always hit at least one little traffic thing on the A1 whenever we head up north for a yarn show. But hopefully it'll clear soon. It's not like gridlock or anything, so hopefully it'll clear soon and then we'll be on our way. I'm wearing my my gamer crafting t-shirt that you had made for me for my birthday last year. So how's the drive going? It's boring. We've been listening to some podcasts. No true crime this time. But I don't know if we're gonna make it the whole way without falling back on some old favorites.
1.6 miles, keep right onto A1.
It's our happy, friendly GPS. Yeah, we were listening to some interesting podcasts, but I don't know, maybe we'll move on to an audiobook now, we'll see. You okay?
Yeah.
She's alright.
We're merging slowly.
We're merging. Merging is the reason for the traffic delay. So, but we're almost halfway. Probably another half hour and the end of this will be about halfway. So that's pretty good, given that I don't even know what time it is. Given that it's a time that's not too late. So yeah, hopefully we'll be rolling into the to the Travelodge sort of mid-afternoon, and then we can just kind of crash out, have a nap.
Sounds good.
Have a nap, have a shower, and then pick up some food for dinner. Sounds good to me. All right, we'll check in. We'll check in later. Aw. And so there we were, off on our journey to Perth Festival of Yarn in Scotland. A 9.5 or 10 hour drive if you drive the speed limit, which we obviously did. Except it took us a little bit longer because we did run into that traffic on the A1, which seems to happen every time we drive north, regardless of the reason. A friendly reminder that if your favorite vendor is not featured in this video, it's not because of any subversive reasons, it's probably because their stand was too busy when I had time to go and run around and talk to people, which, to be honest, wasn't very much time. The festival was quite busy, and I only had maybe about 15 or 20 minutes each day to try and video and chat with people, so don't look too deeply into who is or isn't featured in this. It's basically just complete and utter coincidence, although of course the people featured are fabulous human beings with fabulous businesses and are generally just fabulous all around. As you can see, once we sort of hit the Lake District area, the drive became a lot prettier and a bit easier to deal with than the very flat, sunny A1 boring drives. Hey there everyone. We have arrived in Perth. I've left Sarah in the hotel room chilling out. It took us about 9.5 hours of driving. Stopped twice, once because I needed to pee and the other time to get some gas. So I'm just headed across the parking lot to get some food. Wow, I look ridiculous. I look so haggard. Yep, I'm just headed across the parking lot to get some food to take back to the room and we're just gonna kind of crash out tonight, I think. We're both pretty tired from the drive, and tomorrow afternoon we have setup to do, which is always kind of tiring. So we're gonna chill out tonight, we're gonna have an early night, and then tomorrow we're gonna go and we're gonna set up. So yeah, that's the plan. I wanted to record for you all to kind of see how it works when we are setting up the stand. So this is obviously after I've put up the grid walls, which have the white sheet behind them that are secured with clips. So this is kind of the process when putting together the stand. So we take all of the yarn in these enormously huge IKEA bags that zip up and you can wear them like a backpack. And they fit, I don't know, I've never actually counted how much yarn you can fit in them, but rest assured, it's a lot. So when we get there, the bags are usually separated. There's one bag that has all of the semi-solids in it, and then there's a bag that has all the sparkle stock in it, and then so on and so forth. So things are kind of already parted out a little bit, but there's inevitably stuff that finds its way into random bags as we're preparing to leave, as I remember that I've forgotten to put something into a bag. So here you see me doing the absolutely thrilling work of putting yarn onto these pegs and then putting the pegs up on the wall. So there's no really rhyme or reason when I'm sitting on the ground putting the pegs together. You can see Sarah making signs in the background. And I do think it's funny that occasionally, even with the sped up video, you can see when I'm turning around to talk to her or when she's asking me a question. If you ever see signs that look really cute on our stand at a show, it was not me that made them. It was definitely Sarah. Which is true for my logo and for our logo and for the totes and for the project bags and the pins, so on and so forth. It's definitely always her. So here there's no real rhyme or reason as to what I'm putting where on the grids. I'm just kind of putting them up on the grid, and then you'll see in a couple of minutes that I start to rearrange things. So I've realized something. I've realized something at this show specifically, that I definitely should take pictures of my stand when I'm setting up to try and set it up similarly next time, which I think would help make things a little faster. However, there's always so many new things that I don't actually know how well that would work in practice. There's always new things that I'm bringing to a show that I've got to find room for, so on and so forth. For example, when we first started using the grid walls, which I suppose was a couple of years ago. Yeah, it was actually a couple of years ago that I think we started using them at Perth. So it was a couple of years ago that we started using grids. Before that, we had these big recycled wooden apple crates that I'd bought from somebody on, not Craigslist, that's the American version, Gumtree. So we used to use these big old apple crates, but they were impossible to pack into the car, and they were really heavy, and they started to kind of fall apart, and I didn't love them, so we moved to grids. So, so with the grids, there's always new things that you have to try and find room for. When I first started with the grids a couple of years ago, there was one sort of buffer square between each peg with yarn on it, so you can see that there's little squares across the grid. And there was one, phone definitely fell over there. There was one square between each peg of yarn, but we have so many different colorways now between the variegated stuff and the semi-solids and the new bases and the mini skein gradients and so on and so forth that there's no more buffer spaces in between the squares. It's just one yarn right after another, which I suppose might be a bit challenging to look at when it's such bright colors, but you know, there's not a whole lot that I can do beyond buying more grids, but they wouldn't fit in our tiny Nissan Micra, so it's just gonna have to look like this for now. So you can see here I'm starting to rearrange things on the grids by color. So the semi-solids, because they're on multiple different bases, kind of go from pink over to purple. And then for the sock yarns and for the sparkle sock, it does the same thing but kind of on a row by row basis. So the first row is kind of these pinks, and the next row is oranges and yellow, and the next row down is green. And at this point in the video, you can see me looking confused because I was convinced that I had more green yarns on the standard merino nylon sock base, given my absolute obsession with the color green. But I guess I just didn't bring some of them, or I don't have as much green as I thought I did, which obviously means that I'm going to go just absolutely bananas wild with the green now, so that I can make sure that that never happens again, that I always have tons of green yarn to, to hang up on the grid. Also, right here you can see that I'm hanging up these Me Sane gradient sets. So these used to just be packaged differently. These used to just be wound, or not wound, but twisted into a skein like the regular sock yarns and bundled together with one of the yarn bands. But I found that it was kind of difficult to see if there was a gradient or how it would look if you used it as a gradient. So I started using this sort of link. It's like building a paper chain, if you've ever built a paper chain. It's similar to that, and just looping the mini skeins in each other, inside each other, one right after another, and then securing the last loop with the yarn band. So you can see that I have those kind of hanging up. There's some evil rainbows behind my head, and I just hung up an evolution and a double rainbow. So as you can see, that's kind of how we've started putting them up on the grid as well, and I really like how it looks, so hopefully the rest of you do too. And what I just hung up there is the new collaboration that I have with Lola of Third Vault Yarns. If you remember, a couple of months ago we did a big collaboration that launched at Fiber East. We sold through those packs in no time at all, and I actually went to Fiber East on the Saturday to wander around, I guess, and be there on the stand, etc. So we decided to relaunch that with those sort of orangey, more autumnal colors, still inspired by Do You Dream of Terra 2 by Temio. Those will be available on the website very soon. We had a bit of an issue with post where they didn't show up before I left like they should have, and then they got stuck in the post depot, so I wasn't able to pick them up right when I got back. They should be here tomorrow, so tomorrow is Friday the 13th. So they should be here tomorrow, and then we will work on getting them up on the website as soon as possible. So make sure you keep an eye on both my and Lola at Third Vault Yarns' social media, etc. on Facebook and Instagram. And unfortunately, in a minute here, you're going to see the camera go black. That is because my SD card ran out of space because it was such a long video and it records in HD. So I can't show you the rest of the process, but rest assured it looks roughly like this. Me moving yarns from one peg to the next and arranging and staring and fixing and moving. But the stand did eventually end up looking like this. On the Friday evening, I was lucky enough to attend the Gin Flight Night for Perth Festival of Yarn at the venue in Perth City Centre, and can I just say I thought it was amazing that on their wall of weapons they also had that Nerf gun and a lightsaber. The venue, which is also called the venue itself, was a really lovely place. And look, I even gussied up for it. It was a really lovely place to have the gin and learn a ton about gin. I took videos of the gin expert, but I feel wrong including that in my podcast without getting his express permission. So on the evening, we learned lots about gin, including the historical origins of gin and how it's processed and what makes the different gins different from each other. And to be honest, it was a really fabulous evening. I also had the joy of sitting with Frenchie of Aroha Knits on my left and Jeanette Sloan, who is also a designer, on my right, which just made for a fabulous evening sitting between two such fabulously talented women. arrived at the venue. Someone's hiding in the corner. Said someone's hiding in the corner. Sarah says hi. I just wanted to give you a quick tour. So here we have the Rainicorn range along with the new Ravicorn, which is the same format as the reverse Rainicorn, but they're neon instead of the standard dyes. Some sparkle sock, and then down here. Why does it do that? Why? These that I actually finished on the drive up. So this is my emo rainbow sock blank. So if you've never knitted from a sock blank, it can turn out like this. I know that a few people are asking about them, so I'll probably pop them up for pre-order as soon as this show is over, because I only have a few with me, and there's only, I think there's only a couple left in the shop at time of speech. So, so yeah. Hello. And it's Ellen.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all?
You seem a lot more caffeinated than me, that's for sure.
That's only 1 mug of tea from breakfast.
One mug of tea. Well, Ellen just has a lot more natural energy, I think, than
Possibly.
me. But we're all excited to be here. Oh wow! You do have fabulous boots. Oh, it's gonna freak out.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna have a fit. She has fabulous boots though. Look at there, the sparkly. Cool. She brought her boot game. All right.
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna stop recording now. So also here at Perth Festival of Yarn, so you might remember from my collaboration podcast, this is a collaboration, I can't even speak, I need more coffee. This is a collaboration that I did with Lola of Third Vault Yarns. This is her pattern called Tenet Terra, and we did these minis, we collaborated in her dye studio, and then we had the mini sets, and which we collaborated on. Then she did her own mini skein and I did mine. This is mine. So this is like this sort of like bright silver, and Lola's is this very deep, sort of moody, galaxy-esque, really beautiful sort of charcoal-y, purpley. So we decided we wanted to do another collaboration with different mini skeins. So that's what this here is. So it's a bit more autumnal if you're looking for something a little more seasonal. And I have some sets here, and Lola has some sets there. I mean, at time of filming, they're probably going to be gone by the time I manage to get this edited and uploaded next week. But evidence that they did truly at one time exist. And it was actually kind of frustrating because half of the stuff that Lola sent me didn't arrive because, I don't know, Royal Mail lost half of, like, she sent 2 packages and Royal Mail lost one, which was annoying. But anyway, and there's also going to be a knit-along. Oh, I should talk about that. There's a knit-along starting for this pattern, I think just after Perth Festival of Yarn. So maybe by the time I get this edited and up, you can be able to join in the knit-along for this fabulous pattern with our collaboration. So yeah. I also wanted to point out that these pins, which we had on pre-order, didn't arrive until like the Wednesday late afternoon, like 4 p.m. and we left on Thursday morning. So everyone who pre-ordered will get theirs as soon as we get back. I was actually afraid they wouldn't arrive at all. But look, they're sparkly. And these have the rubber clutch pin backs so that they won't snag on your knitting if you have them on your bag. And obviously we have the matching tote bags. Not tote bags, project bags. I don't join it. As long as it takes you to just kind of have a slow wander around. Alright, slow wander around. As you can see, I sent Sarah on a mission to just take some video walking around Perth Festival of Yarn on this Saturday. You can see that it's quite busy, but even though it's quite busy, there's still plenty of room for people to walk around and not feel rushed or smushed or anything. And there was so many vendors this year that were new to me, or just new in general. It was a really positive, welcoming environment. I'm wandering around and I'm here with Hannah, HeyJay, and I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's Ali.
Hi, Ali. And right, so Hannah, what was the one thing you wanted to tell people today?
One thing I want to tell people is, hang on, how do I get this home?
Stand by.
Stand by.
We're almost there.
One thing I'm saying is, don't be a dick.
Don't do it.
She's nailed it.
Also, I'm taking pre-orders for more of these, so
She's
that's what you need to know.
She's taking pre-orders for Don't Be a Dick, which is raising money for
For full facts, the fact-checking charity of the UK who will double-check everything that's being put in the media and said by our politicians, and they're an independent charity.
which seems important in this political hellscape.
Yeah, it beats just screaming into the void, so...
Sir, cool. All right.
Just screaming into my stash with despair.
It's a mood. All right, this is having like a bit of a fit. All right, cool. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. All right, I'm here with Hutch of Die Candy. Hi, Hutch. How are you?
I am really good, having a good day.
It's Hutch's birthday weekend.
It is my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday
Thank
in
you very
advance.
much. Thank you very much.
So what is the one thing that you want everyone to know?
Okay, if you're wondering if two colorways go together, don't ask anybody else. The only question you need to ask yourself is, do you like them together? That's all that matters.
That's so positive and wholesome. That was
That's just me
that
all
was
over.
really positive and wholesome.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this was the upper floor of Perth Festival of Yarn. You can see a lot of your favorite vendors in this shot taken by Sarah. I was still at the stand. I sent her off with the camera and with the gimbal, which was behaving unpredictably. You can see me on the left talking to Gemma of Snuggly Stars Yarns. You can see Hutch there and Hannah in the foreground, and lots of other really fabulous people vending and being customers. I did want to take a minute to talk about the width of the aisles between each segment of the show at Perth. So this is held in a really nice, airy, large room, and some of the feedback that we've gotten from our customers, both new and old, is that this is why they come to Perth Festival of Yarn above and beyond other yarn shows. And that's for people across the board, whether they have different needs with regards to accessibility or not. I know that personally I get really stressed in really busy, crowded situations, whether I have my own stand in my own space or whether I'm a visitor. So Perth is, because it's so big and airy and people can easily get around and they can have a chat and talk to people and there's plenty of seating, it's a show that's paying a lot of attention to things within those areas, and it's something that I hope that other shows will start to take more notice of and make more of a priority as they're planning their event. Hi everyone, I'm here with Ellen.
Hi.
I'm here with Ellen. I'm not here of Ellen. This is Ellen.
I'm Ellen.
This is Ellen.
Of Mrs. Tom Yarns, or KalokShekEllen.
Right. What is the one thing you want people to know? What is this?
It's a pin. It's a takeaway box with yarn and needles. Mrs. Tom Yarns.
I have to say, I'm really sad that I can't get takeaway boxes like that where I live.
Yes. You
But but in America you get the cute takeaway boxes. Give me the cute takeaway boxes.
You can't get them in the UK. Why?
Why? Aren't they more eco-sustainable than plastic?
They are, but if it's with the pizza boxes and all the oil and stuff gets onto it, you see, you can't do it.
That's true.
So plastic boxes you can actually recycle, reuse, or if your takeaway allows, you may be able to give them back and...
Well, there you go. You should go buy this cute pin, and also you've all learned a thing about recycling.
Oh yes.
Cool. Thanks, Ellen.
No problem.
Everyone, I'm here with Giddy Yarns.
Hi, I'm Helen of Giddy Yarn.
Hi. Right. So she doesn't know what to say. She didn't have anything to say. So I'm going to say things for her, and we've discussed that that's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you all. I'm going to slowly do like a really awkward pan because my gimbal is being a pain. Right. I'm going to tell you all that I'm kind of obsessed with this self-striping sock here. It's this one, right? Yeah. And it's called Storm's End. And I'm going to come and buy one of these because I really need gray rainbow socks because of course I do. And a matching rainbow bag, and that's money that's just flown out of my wallet. Goodbye. Hey everyone, and good morning. It's day 2 of Perth Festival of Yarn, so it's Sunday, September 8th. Sorry, this is really wobbly. Good morning.
Gimbal.
What?
No gimbal for you.
No gimbal for me, not in the car. Yeah, so we're just driving to the venue.
In 100 yards, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Glasgow Road, A93.
That's the GPS. Yeah, we were gonna do a little video last night, but it was just, we were too tired and stuff. So, yeah, we're heading in for day 2. We were just having a very in-depth conversation about Dragon Age. Which is, you know, kind of aggressively on brand.
Origins.
Yes, I felt like maybe we should specify that, so I'm glad you added. We were commiserating about the sloth boss. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna head in and have some breakfast and get set for day 2. The second day of a yarn show always seems to have a very different vibe than the first day. Whether that's a Friday and a Saturday or a Saturday and a Sunday, it always feels a little bit different. So this was the Sunday at Perth Festival of Yarn. Sundays tend to be a little bit quieter regardless of what show that is. Why that is, I'm not super sure. I suppose maybe some people like to carve out Sundays for themselves and their families, which is totally understandable. Sundays at yarn shows are really fun for vendors because we might get a little bit more space to chat with people or catch up with friends that we've made doing the show circuit. I know that Sarah and I have both made some amazing friends doing the show circuit. Even though we don't tend to do that many shows, the friends that we've made at the shows that we've done have been fabulous people that I know that we will stay in contact for a very long time, if not forever. I guess that just depends. And so on the Sunday, I got to talk to a few more vendors, some people that were new to me that I'd never met in person before, but I have chatted with online, whether on Instagram or in Facebook industry groups, and that was really fabulous to put faces to names of people that I've chatted with for, you know, weeks or months before events. Also, it was an opportunity to trade with some of the other vendors, which is something that some of us are open to. Not all vendors are open for trades. Which is something to definitely keep in mind. And typically it's only vendors with other vendors, so as much as I love cheese, for example, I'm probably not going to be super open to trading yarn for cheese at a yarn show event. This is mostly just a vendor's thing for us to trade amongst each other. So I actually got to trade for some pretty fabulous stuff. I also bought some pretty fabulous stuff because even if you love someone's stuff, they might not have any interest in yours, so it's always something to keep in mind as well. In any case, I went home with some fabulous stuff and I got it all on Sunday, so you'll see what that is. Oh, with the exception of the self-striping sock yarn, which I bought on the Saturday, but you have already seen that. First day 2, and I'm here with Verity. Off Truly Hook. So right, what do you want the world to know?
I want the world to know that myself, Angie, Hutch from Dye Candy, and Hannah from HeyJay Yarns are the yarning rock band of your dreams. Oh yeah.
We should start a rock band. Look,
We really
you've
should.
already got like the rock style
Yeah,
t-shirt.
totally hacked up my shirt and everything.
I mean, it's,
I'm the awkward one that stands at the back while you three totally rock out.
I was about to say, I feel like
I'm
I'd be
the one
like
pretending.
I'd be like the awkward weird keys player,
Yeah.
the one that only like really niche people have crushes on, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm
Excellent.
totally here for that.
All right, hello. I'm here with
Mary.
And Matt, we're from Me Sane.
and right. What's your favorite thing that you brought with you today?
Well, we've got this new slug yarn, and we got it in Zombie Island and in Rainbow Drizzle. They're our favourites.
I like how far apart those are, like zombies and rainbows.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what's your favorite thing that you brought with you today so that I can show people?
My favourite thing, maybe this colour. Really like, it's called Majestic.
Yeah, that's lush. That's lovely. Wicked, thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm Emma at All Wool That Ends Well. I have this lot here. My favourite thing? Neons. I always like neons.
Neons are good. I am with you on the neons. I did just buy some fabulously sparkly buttons from you.
Oh,
the
yeah.
sparkliest buttons I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I like sparkle.
Yeah, like
Sparkle
the buttons on my jacket came off, so I was like, well, obviously I should replace them with some aggressively sparkly, glittery buttons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some sparkly buttons and neons.
Yeah.
Fabulous. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, hello.
Hey,
And you are?
I'm Imogen from Big Bud Yarn. Yes. That's a French brand.
Lovely French yarn. And what is your favorite thing that you brought with you?
This one, which is actually all made in France, merino wool.
Ooh.
The shape to the meal and obviously to the dyes. It's
That's a beautiful red.
It's a little bit different from the usual 4-ply because they are like bigger. They also have more density.
Yeah.
And it amazingly works with texture and cable, so I love them very much.
Fabulous. All right, thank you.
Hey.
Hi. I'm here with Gemma of Snuggly Stores Yarns, and as I've said previously in podcasts, Gemma and her lovely husband saved our tent last year when we were camping for this show.
We did, and now we're both not camping, are we?
I know, both. Neither party is camping this year.
Sack that
Right, so what's something that you want to show us?
Right, this year's Christmas colorway.
Christmas yarn.
Yep.
It's never too early.
So Wild Christmas Party. It's all the same dye. This is on the yak. So
Ooh.
it's darker, and that's on the normal merino sock. So it's brighter, but they are both dyed in the same pan at the same time.
It's fabulous. Ooh.
Yep.
That's a nice green on the back end of that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you. Fabulous. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, okay, a trade has been initiated. So I'm here, and look at all these fabulously geeky project bags, which is my weakness. Oh, look, that's fun. Look, that's really fun.
You could put your Lady Unicorn yarn in a
I could.
unicorn bag.
I could. Look, this is all really fabulous.
I have more in a wee box.
I quite like these Moomin bags.
It's because they're the best.
Do you know what? We don't have Moomins in America. I was unaware of what Moomins are until I moved here. And do you know that the creator of the Moomins was a lesbian? And she wrote it as like a secret love story. Which, doesn't that make you love Moomins more? Mm-hmm. Okay, I would like a Moomins bag, please, ma'am.
You need to take one.
Okay, can I have a Moomins bag and also...
Okay, can I put it? This one glows in the dark.
Glows in the dark. That's fabulous.
There's another, and that one glows in the dark.
And this one, look, it's Halloween. Well, it has to be this one then. A Halloween bag and a Moomin bag, please. Please, madam. All right, trade complete. Mission accomplished. Thank you. Hello, everyone here. I'm here with the project bag.
Hello.
Also known as?
Gemma. I'm Gemma.
Also known as Gemma.
Yeah.
All right, Gemma, what do you want the world to know?
I want the world to know about Bliss. It is an incredible charity that raises, does research and raises funds and looking into prematurity and neonatal health. And I want the world to know that the Lara's Legacy pattern is raising money completely for Bliss. All the proceeds go to Bliss. All of it will research and help the 95,000 babies born too sick, too soon, too small every year in the UK.
That's an amazing, amazing charity to support. And thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you for letting me share it.
Let's make the world a better place. Be the change you want to see and all that mushy stuff. All right, sorry, the phone get full, storage was full. So I had to, what? Phone get full. I'm forgetting how to word in brain. Anyway, my point was, I finished the Emo Rainbow sock on the way up to Perth. I did make 2 of them. The other one's in the car. And I'm very excited to wear them now that I don't need to use it for a sample anymore. But people saw them at the show and they bought up all of the sock blanks. Snapped them all up.
They're cool.
They're very cool, but now that I'm finished with this sock project, which I've been working on for a year, I need a new sock project. Because I feel like it's good just to throw in your bag if you're like, I'm going to need some knitting time with nothing too complicated and something small, because the blanket that I'm working on has now surpassed tote bag size, which makes it decidedly unportable. Decidedly. Anyway, so I'm going to probably cast on with that. And I also hand wound a skein of the new Ravicorn yesterday, because there was a man who showed up from the local paper, and he was taking pictures, and he grabbed me and Hutch of Dye Candy and a gentleman from Gong Crafts, whose name I don't remember, and I feel bad. I'll have to look up what his name is. Grabbed the three of us to head out in front of the building to get some pictures, and I was like, oh, we should just like wind some yarn in the picture, which seemed a good idea at the time. And then I actually had to finish winding it because I realized, well, I can't just like put this down or it's going to become a mess. But anyway, now I have a fully wound ball of it, and I thought, well, maybe I should make another ripple bralette. But I could also wait until I think the 27th of August, when Jessie May Designs releases her new framework bralette.
27th of August.
September, 27th of September. What day is it? Time is a construct. Thank you for noticing that.
If it popped up in the comments,
people would have been like, what are you talking about? Yeah, anyway, so I might wait until then and use it for that. But the Ravicorn is really good, I think. Nice and bright, UV reactive dyes. It's fun. It's fun. That was one of the, sometimes I dye something and I make you come look at it. And that was one thing where I was like, look how cool it is. And you were like, it's good. It's a cool one. It's a good thing. So that'll be up on the website next week sometime. Probably by the time this goes up.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that it is, so yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What else do you want to talk about? Nothing, she thought.
It was just an...
She was like, why are you making me do this? Because I love you.
It was a neat couple of days.
Neat.
And this is a neat place. It's really pretty, and I like mountains, and yeah.
You know, almost like when we're on the drive up, once we sort of hit sort of like Lake District-y territory, you kind of just feel yourself just kind of chill a bit. Which makes the drive back kind of a bummer, because
it's just all getting flatter.
Yeah, it's getting flatter and warmer and less fun. But did you oh well, I guess we're planning some new designs, aren't we, for project bags, etc. pins maybe?
Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. I don't think we've decided anything specific yet. But then I say we, but I'm usually just like, do a thing, and I leave it to you.
And I do the thing.
And then she does the thing, which is why we have the yarn hoard pins, and I keep crafting, keep gaming, keep grafting.
On that note,
let's wrap up. Okay, I love you.
I love you.
All right, and we all love you. We both love all of you. I don't know, brains. Anyway, so I guess we'll be back on Saturday, because this will air on Thursday. So we'll be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Saturday with, what's it called? Telling Lies?
Yeah.
Telling Lies. It's a big mystery. It's a cool mystery game on the live stream at 9 p.m. British summertime. Come hang out with us. It's going to be fun. We don't know how this game is played, so we're playing it a bit blind. But it's going to be, I think it'll be really good.
It's going to be really good.
It's going to be, so if you like mysteries and unraveling spooky stuff, then yeah, come hang out. Push the button. Push the button! Okay, I'm pushing the button. Bye! Now we're just gonna... So we're on the A9 about a mile south of the Broxton Junction. So we've been on the road for like 5 minutes, and there's a thing under the car. It's the muffler that's detached and dragging on the ground, so we can't keep driving the car with the muffler dragging on the ground. So now we have to wait for breakdown and to take us to a garage, and
I'm sure this will be hilarious, but it's really not right now.
Like, yeah, we'll look back on this in 5 years and think this is absolutely hysterical, but right now it fucking sucks. We did eventually get home, obviously, as this podcast is now being released. And someday I'm sure it's going to be really hilarious that right as the car dropped its muffler and we were having to use a breakdown service and have somebody come out, and then they couldn't take the muffler off because the bolts were all rusted, and they had to load the car onto a tow truck to take it several miles down the road to a garage where they could remove the muffler and the exhaust and put it in the back of our car so that we could drive home and get caught in massive traffic. I'm sure it's going to be really funny someday that this all happened under an enormously huge rainbow, a complete rainbow from side to side, of which I've never seen the likes of before and probably never will again. Someday it's going to be really funny that that all happened underneath a rainbow, but 24 hours, less than 24 hours since we've been home, it's not quite funny yet. Maybe someday. It's not yet.